Hello, I'm Mike Jones from FCSI's Food Service Consultant magazine. Welcome to the brand new Middleby Innovation Kitchen in Munich, Germany, which is kindly hosting another FCSI's Innovation in the Kitchen panel series. Today, exploring the subject of new innovation and technology in food service. To do that, I'm delighted to be joined by leading consultants from across the FCSI EME and FCSI the Americas divisions, plus Megan Darrow from Middleby. So let me ask the panel to briefly introduce themselves, and let's get underway. Kathleen, let's start with you first, please.
I'm Kathleen Held. I am CEO and president of Simi Little, and we specialize in food service design, laundry, and waste.
Thanks, Kathleen. Aidan?
Hello, I'm Aidan Ross. I'm from Cantium Catering Consultancy. We operate in education, business and industry, and a little bit of retail.
Wonderful. Thanks, Aidan. And Alex?
Hello, I'm Alexander Rufer. I'm the owner of H44 Team from South Tyrol in the middle of the Dolomites, which is in the northern province of Italy.
Thank you, Alex. Reuven?
Hello, my name is Reuven Eichert. I'm the owner of the Cucina Plan Consult in Augsburg, and we'll do technical plannings and for kitchens.
Fantastic. Thank you, Reuven. And Megan?
And I'm Megan Darrow, Vice President of Consultant Services for Middleby.
Thank you very much, guys. So, Reuven, a question for you first, please, to start things off. Why is embracing technology in a professional kitchen so important if an operator is looking to be more efficient and more profitable?
Also ich glaube, der Einsatz von der Technologie in der Küche ist unheimlich wichtig, dass wir eine optimale Arbeitsplatzorganisation bekommen, die ganzen Abläufe und Personalwesen effizienter gestalten können.
So Reuven thinks that use technology, advanced technology is absolutely hopeful in the process and in the maintenance of great kitchens in industrial equipment.
Wonderful. Thank you, Reuven.
The next part is we have a better hygiene and quality management, what we can do, and the Kostenersparnis und die wir erreichen können durch den Einsatz multifunktionaler Geräte ist sehr, sehr wichtig.
The saving in resources of energy and of resources.
Wonderful. Thank you, Reuven. Alex, let's stay with you. How is innovation improving the efficiency for the operators that you're working with your clients? And also, what kind of impact are they seeing on their profitability when they are more efficient?
So in Italy, in the last 5 years or a few years, we had a significant contribution in the taxes contribution for investors in technology, in all the back of house industry, kitchen, laundries. And that was really a smart move. Nobody expected this from Italian government, but it brings to it that you have to connect devices, and you can control consumption in energy, in saving water, in saving chemicals.
Yes.
And that brings a lot. And that changed, and our industry responds very quickly and very well to that requirements from the market.
Great to hear, Alex. Thank you. Kathleen, Simi Little famously takes a very holistic approach to food service spaces, not just in the US, but globally. How is innovation, how is technology helping to create those dynamic and flexible spaces come alive? Is it just one of the tools at the disposal, or is it really everything is going through innovation?
I think right now everything is really going through innovation and our ability to really holistically look at the entire kitchen process, whether it be from the smart technology that's in the equipment, helping us really to use that as heat mapping to understand the flow of the employees, they understand the flow of the energy consumption in the space, but also to think about which pieces of equipment are used when you think about how it integrates with the menus and how people are ordering now with it being all online. You know, it's really allowing us to have, again, a very holistic approach to the kitchen and utilize the technology to go beyond what we know and really pull in the analytics behind.
Absolutely. Great stuff, Kathleen. Thank you. Aidan, similar question to you, really. You mentioned you work on a lot of projects in schools and B&I, those kind of sectors. How are you seeing efficiency gains in the kitchen projects that you're working on, and how is technology a key influence on those gains?
It's really interesting because when you walk into a kitchen, invariably you tend to find that they're quite outdated.
Yeah.
So as a consultant, you take a view on the equipment suite that you've got, and the practices of the cooks and the chefs, and they're so inefficient in terms of the equipment that they're using. So by example, one of the kitchens I recently visited has got 18 fridges operating in it. They got the solid top ranges burning all day long.
Right.
So from an energy consumption perspective, it's madness. You then look at how the chefs are cooking, and they're cooking on old-fashioned 6-ring ranges, and you want to get them to embrace a bit of technology, so be that a high-pressure kettle or a boiler or something like that. So it's about trying to bring technology so that the chefs and the managers actually understand how to deliver more efficient services.
Absolutely. Thank you, Aidan. Megan, let's bring you in here. There's some fabulous innovation here at the MIC here in Munich. Why is it vital for you and your team to get feedback from consultants to help you produce products that ultimately make operators' lives easy, but make them more efficient too?
Absolutely. I think it's really a lot about the communication and the partnerships that we at Middleby like to build with our FCSI consultant partners, in that, hearing some of the pain points that you all are experiencing with your clients is going to help us be a better manufacturer, right? And especially when we talk about things around the lines of technology and innovation and what we're doing to our individual products in order to bring those innovations to the market. So having those conversations, and what our team does too specifically, is we keep, kind of that log and that project management sheet of the things that we're hearing, which then helps us make a business case to our individual brands to say, hey, we need to put this into play because here's what we're hearing, and here's what I think the opportunity will be for the marketplace to continue to push that innovation forward.
Brilliant. Thank you, Megan. Aidan, let's come back to you. How are you seeing innovation help your clients to manage the labour question? Labour-saving technology is having a huge impact on the industry, but what results are you seeing that are actually having a positive impact?
So things like combination ovens and stuff like that, and the ability to have less wastage created by the equipment that they're using, and actually having program cycles of pieces of equipment. It means that they're in a position that they can reduce labour.
Yep.
Personally, I think there's an element of risk around that, because actually if you rely too heavily on automated equipment, when the automated equipment goes wrong, you haven't got the skill set in the kitchen to be able to cope with that. So there's a balancing act that you don't want to de-skill too far, but I see that there's a necessity to try to bridge that labour problem.
Fantastic. Same question to you really, Alex. How are you seeing technology impact on the labour saving issue on the projects you're working on?
Well, in the business with short operating times, it's generally, I think it's difficult to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because we have small incentives to invest in quality and the sustainability, but nevertheless, efficiency in equipment is always important, because even in short times you need a high efficiency in the equipment. So. But anyway, we see in the long term investments that investors get more sensible about all these points. It's not just sustainability; it's even the economy of the equipment, and not at the end. You have to be more honest on your concept.
Yes.
So you have to at first understand what you're standing for. What is your concept? What are the equipment which stands for your concept and can really help you? And I think there is a lot to do. And so all the technology goes in the right way, because if we have data, we can measure it. We can understand how machines work, how many hours, what is efficiency and what not, or what we just think is efficient. So that is a big step forward, and I think we will have a significant change even in the designing of kitchen in the next years.
Wonderful, thanks, Alex. Reuven, I'd like to come back to a point that Aidan made, which is about getting the right balance between automation and keeping hospitality people focused. So why is it so important to do that?
Die Automatisierung ist für uns wichtig im Bereich Back-of-House, damit wir eine hohe Effizienz und Qualität, gleichbleibende Qualität umsetzen können. Und die Menschlichkeit, die brauchen wir zum Gast hin. Die Herzlichkeit muss bestehen bleiben. der Service darf nicht leiden, die Authentizität, die ich mit meinem Gewerbe verbinde, die ich nach außen bringen will. Das ist das, wo wir die Menschlichkeit brauchen. Da hat keine Digitalisierung, keine Maschinisierung etwas zu suchen. Da lebt der Mensch im Front of House und im Back of House können wir mit der Technologie arbeiten.
So that's a lot. Yeah, but yeah, the automatization in the back of the house is really important, and to give significant help to the employees, because we need the people and the human resource on the guest side. So there will be changes in digitalization, maybe in robotics, maybe in many things, which helps to do the daily work, to have a constant quality and constant consumption. Yes, I think it's right. Okay. It's right. Thank you.
Kathleen, to come back to you on this, on the whole labour issue, do you think that the labour issue is going to be, we're 5 years on from COVID, it's still a massive issue. Is labour going to be the Gordian knot in food service? Is it going to be impossible to crack, or is innovation actually stepping up and plugging that gap?
I think we're going to continue to have labor issues within the food service industry, but I do think that the technology is stepping up to help fill that gap, because the kitchen equipment is really being catered now to the generation that has the iPhone. They look, they see, they can just hit a chicken on the machine and they can cook the piece to perfection. Using the smart technology built into the machine. So the training on the is, doesn't have to be as extensive as it once did, because these aren't culinary school chain chefs using the equipment. They're really, kitchen help that can now make, quality pieces of food very quickly and easily.
Yeah. You feel it's filling that gap?
I do feel that it's filling that gap sufficiently to help us with the labor shortage and to maintain the quality of food and timing in the kitchen.
Great stuff. Thank you, Kathleen. Megan, let's talk about AI for a second, artificial intelligence. How central is AI to new equipment development in the brands that you're seeing at the moment in terms of Middleby? How will it feature in future developments and future products?
Absolutely, and I think this is a great stem off of kind of the conversation that's been had to this point around innovation, technology. We've heard robotics, things like that, right? So while I think AI certainly plays a part, hospitality itself, and this was one thing we heard a lot about during the pandemic, right? It's like you need that personal touch, that personal experience. While I think AI can be the starter for some of that and help you do some of that data sorting, you still need that personal touch. You're still going to need that chef to kind of take a look at all those moving pieces. How does it work together? How do we create that cohesive menu? But I think that there's SOP and process flow and all of those things that we can put in to address kind of the two biggest value propositions around the labor shortage and food waste and things of that nature. But do I think that AI and robots can easily take over the world tomorrow? 100%. But when it comes to optimizing our kitchen operations, I think that human factor is still going to need to be a vital piece in putting together a successful operation, but going to help us alleviate some of those more nuanced tasks and SOP oriented pieces of what makes an operation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Megan. Let's bring in your perspective there, Aidan, on the subject of AI. What kind of impact do you think it's going to have on the industry?
I think it's an important consideration. I think that things like management of waste, digital food safety management, things like that are really, really important. What that can do is generate labour savings and time, less process time for the chefs. That allows them to focus more on the craft-based stuff or the front house. So I think that it has its place, but in specific sectors perhaps.
Yeah. Another thing that has its place, Kathleen, is connected kitchens and kitchens equipment talking to each other kind of seamlessly. How can connected equipment transform kitchens into data-driven environments, and you can take that data and analyze it and help your kitchen be more efficient and effective? What sort of evidence are you seeing of connected kitchens making that sort of impact?
I am such a data nerd that I love the idea behind IoT in kitchens. And I think the more conversations that the allied members of FCSI have with the consultants, I think the need for not only all the pieces of equipment that have that data integrated, but that having one piece of software that the food service operator can go to and pull in all that data so that they really can have data-driven kitchen environments and use all of that beautiful analytics that all these pieces of smart machinery are collecting to really improve, their revenue and how they work in their facilities.
Fantastic answer, Kathleen. Thank you. Reuven, how are you seeing data gathering, data analysis having an impact on kitchens?
Über das Sammeln von Daten und das Analysieren von unseren täglichen Abläufen können wir unseren Personaleinsatz besser planen für die Zukunft. Wir können dadurch die hohen Kosten, die uns entstehen über Personal, aber auch in dem Bereich der Geräte effektiver gestalten und entsprechend ausnutzen und dem entgegenwirken, dass wir in der Geisel uns selber behindern.
Collecting data will almost help us in the operating part. So to handle really useful the manpower and to reduce that times from the operating side, you think it's the most advantage.
Und ergänzend dürfen wir eins nicht vergessen, Gastronomie lebt von den Menschen auf beiden Seiten. Also Daten sammeln, analysieren ist gut, aber der Mensch sollte immer in vorderster Stelle bleiben, gerade in der Hospitality.
By the way, he said in hospitality is a human business.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, even collecting data, even have all the help in the world, we should always take care about the humans in the front of the counter and in the back of the house.
Yes, absolutely. Alex, let's stay with you.
Yeah.
For operators looking to stay competitive
Yeah.
in a rapidly changing environment, why is investing in the right kind of technology, how does it enable an operator to stay future fit?
That's a good question, Mike. I think that's the answer. If you don't do it, you have no future.
Yeah.
That's what I think. You have to really to handle careful your investment costs, but more than that, the operation costs. So that is the answer. You have to adapt. You have so we all humans, no, and everything starts to make you things happening. You need pain, So something has gone wrong that we start to change things.
Yes.
So and at the beginning of this process, there is always fear, and so I think we now are in a process that there is some fear about new technologies. So because we hear AI, we hear a lot of things, but I think it's a good start. I think it's when we approach our fears, we talk about different solutions. So that's why that kind of meetings are very important, especially between us as FCSI consultants, because we know new technologies, we understand how useful are solutions, and that helps us to get the challenges in the future.
Fantastic, thank you, Alex. Megan, why is it so useful to get the input from consultants, like we're doing here at the MIC in Munich? And why do events like this, in terms of learning, education, getting consultants to see the new innovation that's available, why is that important?
Absolutely. So I think, from the manufacturer's perspective, it's really important to be able to train and educate our consultant partners, right? We are a solutions provider. Everybody in manufacturing, to be quite honest, we all provide a stainless steel box, right? So what makes our stainless steel box different from some of the others, provides a solution to our consultants' clients, and ultimately that operator that's going to improve efficiencies, create a really positive operation, and really grow business. So where I think that all comes into play is places like this. Whether it be one of our MICs, throughout the globe, it is bringing the consultants in, hearing what they have to say, what are some of those pain points that they're experiencing with their clients. How can Middleby as a solutions provider, again, not just any one brand, any one line, but how can we continue to innovate and optimize the equipment that we have in order to provide that complete solution.
Brilliant.
So being able to leverage our facilities throughout the world aids in really bringing those consultants in from the different areas of the world, so we can enable those conversations, network, and break bread together to really create an environment of communication and alignment.
Thank you, Megan. Let's get the final word then from our 4 consultants. So if you could all answer the same question really, why do events like this and speaking to not just operators but to equipment manufacturers like Middleby, how does it help you stay ahead and to educate and to learn about innovation and technology that's in the market or is coming onto the market? So Reuven, why are events like this useful?
Ich glaube, dass so ein Center wie hier ganz wichtig ist, um einfach die Innovationen weiterzutragen, in den Markt rauszutragen, dass wir uns als FCSI Consultants weiterbilden können, entsprechend mit der neuesten Technologie in die Planungen gehen, um dem Personalmangel entgegenzuwirken und dem Gast das beste Erlebnis zu präsentieren und zu ermöglichen.
Yeah, it's the same answer than Megan did before. Said at the end of the day, we are here to learn, to understand system, new technology, to help our clients and customers and the operators to work better, and with the end to have a satisfied guest.
Fantastic. And I guess the same question to you then, Alex.
Yeah, so my kitchens are in the luxury segments. They look totally different. And honestly, I see always Middleby in the exhibitions in Milano and a lot of brands. And I'm observing the how Middleby, how they moved the last years in Europe. So opening in Madrid, so they really take care right now of the European market. So that's what I try to understand from these operations. And so I need to understand the products more. So, and that there is nothing better than a center like this to understand this. So, and then maybe tomorrow we have the case, that you have to plan a stadium or something, and you really need then this knowledge, about machines, about equipment. So, thank you for the invitation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex. Same question to you, Aidan.
I think from my perspective it's really important because some of the teams that you tend to operate with, they are very fixed about, I want to have that particular brand,
yeah.
And that's always where they're going to go. But to come and see different types of equipment under an umbrella here, for me, is really useful. I think that to be able to speak to consultants that are operating in different sectors and to hear what their thoughts are is also really important to us, and it's a great learning opportunity. So just very appreciative of being here.
Thank you, Aidan. And same question, Kathleen.
What I love about opportunities like this is that, so often we're caught in the day-to-day challenges that we're facing right here, right now with our clients and the particular needs they need and the designs we're working on, that when we're allowed to get together like this and visit beautiful facilities like the MIC and in Munich and to speak with other consultants, especially at the worldwide level, we can actually practice elastic thinking. We're not focused on what's happening now. We can actually think about what is we want to see in the future and how we can put together the ideas that we're seeing now and have, a bigger picture of where we're going in the future, because this is not about now, it's about what's next. Mm-hmm. And so oftentimes we're looking in the rearview mirror when we need to focus on what's in front of us.
Absolutely. Great answer. Thank you very much, Kathleen. I'd like to draw things to a close there and thank my outstanding panelists. So Kathleen, Aidan, Alex, Reuven, and of course, Megan, thank you, Middleby, for hosting this and the fabulous new Middleby Innovation Kitchen in Munich. And thank you all for watching. Thank you.